We're here with Sue Thain today, and I was having a look at your hair, which I said was amazing. And one thing that you did say to me is that was probably the most traumatic thing you went through, was actually losing your hair.
I think it was, actually.
But you had an amazing wig, I believe.
I did. It was traumatic because although I'd been told I would lose my hair, I couldn't imagine it, I suppose. And
I think for a woman it's a very emotional
Yes.
thing. And I've found in chatting to people, quite a lot of people choose to actually shave
Yes,
it off. Do you think in hindsight that you might have preferred doing that?
I don't think I would.
It's the courage to do it, isn't
would
it?
be. I mean, it came out literally after the first chemo session.
So because obviously you were having strong...
I was offered the cold cap, which again some people have talked
I've heard about that, yes.
And I went and looked at it at the Spires and thought, oh, I don't think I could cope with that either.
No, it's what each individual can cope with.
I thought I couldn't. I don't like being cold, and the thought of that put me off. So I just thought, well, I'll go with it. So both my daughters spoke to a friend of mine who's their friends whose mum had breast cancer,
right,
and had a really lovely wig, and they took me
somewhere to get
it in Lutterworth.
Oh, excellent.
It was, and the lady was great because she saw me just before I lost my hair.
So she got an idea of what you used to.
Yeah, and the wig was virtually the same.
Brilliant.
People just looked at me and didn't realise. No. Apart from when I was very poorly, obviously, because I did lose a lot of weight.
Yes, so
but
that's more obvious.
It was more obvious,
yes.
But the hair bit's been the silver lining, if you like, literally.
Yes, I can see.
Because I used to have it treated and highlighted and things. And I'd just grown it into a long bob because it was dead straight and very coarse, my hair.
And now it's come through curly and lively.
It is, and it's much softer. I mean,
and it suits your face.
Everyone said that, which is so it's a bonus really, and I quite like it because I don't have to fiddle about with it.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that can come out as a bonus at the end of treatment.
Definitely.
I've actually got a different hair, and your whole image changes then, doesn't it?
And I would never probably have had my hair cut short.
No.
I wouldn't have gone to the hairdresser and said, please cut my hair short, because I used to have it short when I was younger, and consciously wanted it to be longer.
Yeah. What about clothing-wise? Because you're obviously a very elegant lady. I mean, I like everything you're wearing today. Did you find you now have to wear clothing that has different necklines? I don't know with your particular operation, or can you wear anything?
I can wear anything.
That's good.
I wouldn't probably wear a sleeveless, totally cut away like I would have done before. Because you would, if I put my arms up, you'd actually see a little bit of the scar, but it's not, again, luckily it does not show.
No, so you're able to...
I can wear sort of anything really.
Yeah.
Within reason. I mean, I like choosing clothes and colours and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Because when I was depressed, I just used to wear trousers and
you lost interest.
And you lose interest.
So now you're back to wanting to wear something really snazzy and feel good about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously it's come across in the film. You've been very lucky with your family. You have a very supportive family, and you still have wonderful parents as well.
They're amazing. Yes, and I think that's so vital. But friends as well.
Yes, because it's a different conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes what comes across with family is you'll only say a certain amount to them because you're protective of them. Because families really go through so much when a member is going through a cancer journey.
That's right.
And you feel protective, whereas with friends you can be a little more open about having a bad day.
And again, the friends that I have, they've seen me when I have been depressed before. So they also have an insight. In fact, one friend who came to each chemotherapy session as well used to drop in on the Thursdays because she lived near to the Spires. She'll sort of say to me, are you okay? And I'll sort of, she's sort of got a bit of an insight into how I am if I'm slightly different.
Yes, she'll pick up on it.
And pick up on it, which is great, really. And I have got lots of supportive friends.
Did you have interests before that you've now sort of gone back to? I mean, are you a theatre goer or anything that you like?
I love doing anything like that. I suppose when I lost my husband, I filled my life I filled every minute of the day. That's how I coped with.
So you couldn't have time to think about anything. Yes, you had to keep busy. I can imagine
I did,
that.
and with the two girls,
it's a lot to go through.
Yeah,
yes,
we used to go away at half terms. Always, I'd planned to go away
all the
with
time.
them. Yeah,
brilliant.
and have things to do so that you know. But again, I went through that stage, and then when I was probably when I didn't work for sort of the 6 years and did voluntary work and a bit more training and a few courses and things, I didn't need to fill it quite as much.
No,
so
you had something to think
stages,
about.
Yes, so you go through stages in life, I think, and
I agree.
Now I don't feel it's quite nice to get up in the morning and think, well, what am I going to do today?
And actually make a decision.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I was saying about filling my time. I always used to have holidays booked holidays ahead.
I was going to say, I think, again, people watching this may not be as fortunate as you've been in having a lot of people around them. So you have to think, well, you need something to aim for all the time.
You do.
And I think, going away, even if it's for a weekend somewhere, a holiday break. So have you had lots of different holidays you've planned?
I have. I did used to be that person. I've always been the sort of person, I've lived in lots of places, and so I've got friends all over the country, really. Which is really nice.
Can I come and see you?
Particularly good friends in Devon.
Oh, lovely.
And so I go down to Devon. I could ring them up and say, "Is it all right if I just come today?" And they'd say yes.
Oh,
they're that sort
brilliant.
of friends. So I always used to, plan to go away, and I have time away. I like being with my daughters as well, but it's important for them.
Me time as well.
And for me to have time, So, and always I book holidays ahead.
So you've got something to aim for.
Yes, to aim for. I think that's really...
Do you find now that you prioritise things a bit more me time than perhaps you did before you had your treatment?
Yes.
You think, I need time for me as well as family and everybody?
And that's it. I think we when we were talking earlier, I used to just get roped in for things because if nobody would do it, well, I'll do it then.
Yeah, a bit of a soft touch.
And now I sort of think, no, I won't. I'll think about me as well and, do some things for me. Or just not have anything to do.
Which is in itself quite nice sometimes.
I can then sit and read, or because I used to really only read on holiday, and I love reading, but didn't
I do,
because
it's time.
I'd always think, oh, there must be something else I should be doing, not reading.
Yes.
Something in the house, or something else that was important,
definitely
more important. And why is it more important?
No. A good book has got a lot to be said for a good book.
And I think going out with friends is important to me as well, to be with people.
Yes.
I don't like to be on my own, even.
But you're obviously a people person anyway.
Yes.
Yes. I'd say I was. I don't like my own company.
No. So I'd prefer to be with friends, although I've lived on my own obviously since 1992.
Yes.
And my daughter's left home about 6 years ago. So I've had 6 years.
But they've left home, but they haven't really.
No, they've left my house. They've left all their things very conveniently at
so they can nip back.
But they live in their own house now, in their own homes, and are very happy. And that again I feel that they are happy. So I feel like I've done as much as I can for them. I'm always there for them, but they're now very...
And have you never, over this period of time, thought of somebody for yourself, meeting anyone else?
Yes, I have. I have actually been out with 2 people.
Excellent.
However, the first time it didn't work because he hadn't any children, and
so
at that
perhaps
time
hadn't got an insight into what it's like.
It was very difficult.
Yes,
I
can
felt
see
I had
that.
to be 2 different people. I was the Sue when I met him, and
the
I was
one that
Mum,
was
and that was the priority,
of course,
always. So that sort of I felt that wasn't going anywhere.
Then to fizzle.
And then the second time, I just thought, do I really? Well, I found it hard.
Was it too much like hard work?
To find time because I was doing lots of other things as well,
Couldn't
and it wasn't that important. No. But it would be. It isn't that I wouldn't like. I'd love a companion.
Well, that's what I was thinking with you saying you like to have someone around.
It would be nice to have a companion.
You know, and obviously seeing the way you look appearance-wise and so on. I mean, I'm sure there'd be somebody out there who would very much like you.
But I sort of feel like I wouldn't want to. I suppose I've never thought of making it happen. If it happened, great.
It's naturally.
Yes.
But
I don't fancy going to...
you're not going to go on the internet, go on a dating site.
I don't fancy that, really. No, I don't.
I'd be so scared.
Although
I've heard really good success stories from people.
Yes.
But I think it's a bit trial and error, and I don't fancy the trial and error.
I tried a dinner type thing a few years ago, going out to dinner.
I would think could work.
But even that I felt was a bit contrived, because you sat with one set of people for the first course, then you moved for the second course, then you moved for the third course, and I just thought, it's not
too much like hard work. Yeah.
So I suppose I don't know. I've just filled my life with other things
that have kept you happy. Yes.
Yeah.
And do you do any hobbies? Have you got hobbies or sport that you do, or anything you've gone back to that you couldn't do?
Not really. I sing.
Painting and pottery and millions of other things you do.
Like that.
Not arty.
I can sew. I can knit. I've knitted since Claire's had Miley.
Oh, brilliant!
So
yes,
I've been
of course.
knitting. I do like sewing, and I could do things like that. But I like creative embroidery, which I used to do a class.
And that's quite time-consuming, isn't it? Because it's very intricate.
Yes.
I had a friend who did that.
Yes, we sort of painted on a silk and then embroidered onto it. But that again was in a group session.
Yes.
And you could do it on your own as well, at home.
Of
but
course.
I enjoyed the actual social bit where you sat.
So do you actually go to anything now?
I don't at the moment. So
you could do that.
Is a possibility. Well. Yeah, or
fit
even
that into your schedule
or something. I'd like to do.
Yeah. So again, one of the people I work with did patchwork, and she did some amazing things.
I'd love to do that.
But she did it in a group.
Yeah.
Where everybody sat around chatting and.
I did a very basic. Quilt hexagons when I was at college.
Right.
Just hand sewn. It was all hand sewn. That was.
It takes a long time.
And it's for a single bed, and I've still got that. But I'd like to do something sort of a bit more with a definite sort of pattern and a bit more skilled. I think. Really.
Yes.
So I might.
That sounds like a good thing.
There's lots of things I might do.
Well, at least now you're looking ahead to all these things with a very positive attitude.
Oh gosh, yes.
And I think that is the great thing. No matter how low you get in life,
yes,
you can come out and have this attitude
again.
Oh gosh,
yes. That's it. I think with me, I know that I'm either rock bottom and where I do sort of, I say shut down because that's how it feels, and then when I'm switched back on, I'm fine.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Pick up the pieces and I'm okay.
Yes, definitely.
I just wish I could sort of anticipate or do something about the demise when I sort of have a feeling that I'm starting to be depressed, but no matter what I do try and do, doesn't actually stop that process.
I understand. Yes, but when you really think about it, you've had some big things to contend with, and hopefully you're not going to have a lot more big things to contend with. So you've got to think like that.
Yes.
Because that seems to be the catalyst.
Yes, it does
to getting a bit down. I mean, and you've coped with an awful lot, and look at you now. So, you're an inspiration in that sense.
Well, that's nice to know.
An inspiration with curly hair.
Yes, with curly hair.
Excellent.
And grey hair. I'm not going to dye it again. I've decided.
Well, it suits you anyway. And I mean, people pay to have that colour. It's not. It's an amazing colour, actually. Yes, it's a different colour.
It is a different colour.
The only other thing we touched on was the underwear and things.
Oh yes, definitely.
From having had obviously breast cancer, it's sometimes difficult afterwards because you're a bit dippy doopy, not quite the same shape you were, and you want to look nice in outfits. It's finding the right thing.
It is.
You found this quite hard as well, I believe.
I have found it hard. I mean, I've been to the likes of M&S who do offer a bra measuring and all the rest of it. But to be fair, they haven't got the skill I think that's needed for. Because the bras weren't right. I then went to Phoenix. It's a comfort thing, isn't it? It is the comfort thing.
And yet having a shape.
Having a shape, yes. And getting that sort of built up. It's almost like you want to have a bespoke. Well, you can do that, I suppose, can't you? I'm answering my own question. go and have a bra made, and I'm almost getting to that stage where I think I would like to do that. That would be supportive and right for me.
Because it's
so
you're a bit feel a little lopsided and slightly different.
Right, still.
Yeah, I can understand
it's better than
that.
it was. I'm hoping these two I've ordered now might be.
But you're saying with holidays, I mean, are you happy to wear swimsuits and go and see and things like that?
Yeah,
so that's that side.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, so I had a friend I spoke to recently who had breast cancer as well.
Yes.
And she's going on holiday soon, and she said, Heather, I've just sent off for 8 swimsuits. She said, I'm going to go in and try them all on until I find one that I'm going to go on the beach on. And I think that's what I'd encourage people, you know, don't worry about how many things you have to try to get one that makes you feel good.
Yes.
It's feeling good about yourself that matters.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I feel really well.
I can see, yes.
I would like to lose a bit of weight because I think with not having eaten, when I started to feel better, I love food and I like cooking, and I've eaten probably more than I would have eaten.
Mind you, you say you're on tablets for 5 years. Is a side effect from the tablets a weight thing?
I don't
do you
know
know?
whether it might be. I'm not sure.
You should find out about that, because then it might make you realise that you can't do anything about it, so you must live with it.
But
sometimes it is a side effect.
Yes, it might be. I think the other thing I've read a lot about again is food and the effect food has on your sort of chances of getting breast cancer.
I know. I spoke to a lady recently who says it's got, in her opinion, dairy-free is the way to go.
That's what I think.
Because I haven't done that, and I'm going to look more into it.
Well, I read this amazing book called Your Life in Your Hands by Jane Plant. And she's a scientist who had breast cancer, diagnosed with breast cancer. She was diagnosed with it subsequently 4 more times, and the last time was, she was told it was terminal. But from her knowledge as a scientist, she started to look at what she was eating, and it's fascinating. She now is totally dairy free. When she did this diet that she devised herself, and from her knowledge and whatever, the terminal diagnosis has changed, and she's been now cancer free for about 6 years.
That's amazing.
And so the tumour shrank.
So it's what you put in. It makes sense, but it's knowing and being strict with yourself on what you really can't have.
But she then brought out a book of recipes, because that's the other thing.
How amazing! I'll have to get it.
This is what you know. She's saying this is the best thing to do. But then, how do you cut out all those things?
Yes.
I don't eat masses of meat. You know, red meat.
No.
I love fish, and I would have said I had a healthy diet.
Yes.
You know, I eat things in moderation. I love fruit, vegetables, all that sort of thing.
Which are all good.
Yes.
But we all eat a lot of dairy that we don't realise is in everything almost.
That's it. And
because dairy seems to be in almost everything.
And she advocates that it's all to do with the growth hormones and all sorts of things that cattle are fed, and it is interesting if you want to read.
Very interesting. And what was this book called?
It was called Your Life in Your Hands by Jane Plant.
Right, that's very interesting.
And the recipe book that she's brought out is great. So I've started it because it relies a lot on grains, quinoa, and, you know, sort of buckwheat and all the sort of grains, which is fine.
Yes.
Totally non-dairy.
Yeah.
Totally organic. Everything she advocates. And organic soya.
Oh right,
milk,
soya,
protein, tofu, and so I felt the one thing I did think was that I probably could do it, but how does that impact on everybody else again? Because when you go out, and socially. I do tend to go out quite a lot.
Could it not be a flexible thing where you're not absolutely 100%?
Well,
you do it as much as you can.
For her, it was all
have to do
or nothing. And she wouldn't go back, she said, because of the diagnosis.
Of course.
Each time she had conventional treatment, it worked at the time, but then within a few months it was back.
It was back.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, sorry, it's made me think, Heather, that I might have mentioned to Dr. Mitchell as well, and I'll have to my GP. How do you know that you haven't still got it? Because I haven't had another scan yet.
No, nor have I.
How do you actually know that you haven't got it still? And, you know, is it likely to recur again in a few months? So can you do anything to stop it, is how I then felt. Can I do anything to stop it from happening again?
I think purely lifestyle and diet is about the only thing you can do.
Yes.
Because I know obviously examination with someone who's had breast, but when you've had an operation, you feel lumpy bumpy anyway, so it's very difficult to know if anything's anything. So from that point of view, I think it's purely your diet and also just being aware of your body, really. And if it tells you anything, go and do something about it.
I know.
But
I just wish you could go again. I sort of would quite like to go and have another mammogram. I don't want to really, but I would, for them to say it's totally clear, but I've got to wait, obviously, to have that.
Yes, and that will be the ongoing process.
Yes, it will, So
I think you've just got to put it in the back of your mind.
And I think
live each day.
That's what I'm trying to do now,
Absolutely.
really. And just get on with life.
Brilliant. Well, it looks like you're enjoying your life now, which is nice to hear.
Yes.
And for anyone watching, I would encourage them to do the same.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's been nice talking to you, and I wish you all the well.
Nice to talk to you, Heather.
Thank you.
Thanks.